everyone, it's Alyssa and welcome to You Can Learn Math. Today's lesson is going to be about logs or logarithms. Woo, logs or logarithms. Logs are like, they're cousins of exponents. And I'll show you pretty quickly what I mean. Now we all know our exponents, and if you have any questions on exponents, I did a whole series on them. I think it's 4 parts, and I have links in the description below, also in the Algebra playlist. But they'll take you through all the different sort of ins and outs of exponents, combining exponents, all that good stuff. So if we have this, 5 to the power of 3 equals 125, or 5 times 5 times 5 equals 125. Logs are just a different way of looking at these. It's pretty straightforward, but also confusing at the same time. Let me explain. So, for instance, this we would write as log base 5 of 125 equals 3. That's it. Same information written, and there's the word log out front. It's saying 5 to the power of 3 equals 125. Now, I'm not going to get into the why we would want to do this in this lesson. I'm more concerned with just making sure you can do these and do them correctly. And that's going to be our focus today. So, okay, so log, move. I said go left. Log base 5 of 125 is 3. So that's with real numbers. You might see it written in a textbook as something like this. Like y equals log base b of x is equivalent to b to the power of y equals x. So that right there is the same thing as what I just said. Okay, so let's take a couple of examples just to make sure you know what we're talking about. So let's say log base 4 of 16 would be 2. 4 to the power of 2 equals 16. That's the thing. It's a counterclockwise circle that we're filling in. So once we know that, we can solve for any of these positions. So let's say that they asked, why does it not want to go to the left? It's not too much to ask, whiteboard. Okay, so what if I said log of what base of 16 is 2? Then we're thinking in our head, x to the power of 2. This is like our x. X to the power of 2 equals 16. What is x? Now here, this is bringing up something that is an important distinction, okay? This has to be positive. When we're talking about exponents, that's not true, because I could have negative 4 squared equals 16, and that's true. But, and this is a big but, it can't be negative 4 here. You can't have that. It's a no-no. We'll just leave it at that. Can't do it. Has to be greater than 0. If we're using our thing earlier, we were saying y equals log b of x. So then, b to the power of x equals y. B is greater than 0. That's how you'll see it written. Has to be positive. Positive, positive, positive. And that is a big sort of divergence, I guess you could say, from what you're used to with exponents. Okay. Now there's a couple of things. Let me zoom in here. You may see something like this. Log 100. And you're like, how am I supposed to do that? Because I'm trying to figure out this number to this power equals 100. uh, how do I know, any of this? I don't have enough information. Well, you do, because if there is no base given, and there's no x sitting here telling you to solve for it, the base is understood to be 10. That's sort of the default setting, as it were. So in this case, it's 10 to what power is 100? 2. 10 to the power of 2 is 100. So our answer would just be 2. Log of 100 is 2, like this. Okay? Let's try a couple more. Let's say log base 6 of 36 equals what? 6 to what power equals 36? I go, 6 to what power equals 36? Well, that's 6 squared equals 36. So my answer is 2. Okay? Okay. So that's what logs are, or logarithms. Another sort of thing to keep in mind with this, and I just really forgot where I was going. Oh, yes. There's another thing you'll see, like this, LN. This is natural log, and it's base E. And you're like, what on earth? Base E? Yeah, you know how pi is a constant that shows up a lot, and you're like, okay, it's about 3.14, and there's more after that. E is another constant that shows up a lot, and so it has its own name, E. Again, that's a topic for another video as to what exactly E does, but just know for this, it's a constant like pi is, and it's an irrational constant. So whenever you see ln for a log, it means it's a log, just a log, but the base is E. And it's never written. They don't write the E there. So for example, if you saw something like this, that looks confusing. We go, what? ln e to the power of 4? What have I gotten myself into? Well, it's the same sort of principle. This is easier than it looks, I promise. This is one of those things like, don't make it harder than it is. Base is E, it's understood, and we're saying E to what power equals E to the 4th power? Yes, it really is this easy. E to the 4th power equals E to the 4th power. That's it. That's literally it. Okay, so here's another example of this. So like if I had log of 10 to the 8th equals, well, it's base 10. This is an understood base 10. I don't know if you can hear that. That's my cat going to town on a scratching post and just attacking it like it killed his mother. You do it. You do you, dude. It's entertaining, I gotta admit that. Anyways, back to logs. So much more fascinating than rampaging kitty cats, right? Okay, because this is a base 10 understood, we're asking 10 to the power of what equals 10 to the power of 8? It really is. That's all we're asking. 10 to what power equals 10 to the 8th power? 8. That's it. That's literally it. Okay, so what if it was something like clear, I said. All right. So we said, okay, natural log of E to the power of 5 plus log of 10 to the power of 7/8 equals. That's impressive looking when you just glance at it. You're like, where do I start? What do I do with this? Again, we don't want to make it harder than it is. This first one over here, this is a base E. So it's E to the power of what equals E to the power of 5? 5. Next one. This is understood base 10. When we don't have a base and it says log, it's base 10. 10 to the power of what equals 10 to the power of 7/8? 7/8. That's it. Literally it. All that, which looks very fancy, I grant you, is very simple. Very simple. Okay, so that's our basic introduction to logs. Some of the other rules about logs are, I think, a bit much to include all in one video, so I'm going to do a part 2, and that's going to have all the rules about combining logs. So I will put a link to that below, and we'll have a part 2 on this. All right, I hope this was beneficial, learning about logs, the math kind, not the wood kind, the branch kind, or any other kind of log that's out there, or the writing things in a journal log. There's more logs out there than I thought. Anyway, so that's it for today for logs. I hope this was helpful and useful in some small way. If you have any questions about logs or ideas for a future video, put them in the comments below, and I will, see about addressing those. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate it so much. Hope you have an awesome day. See you soon. Bye-bye.